there. So last week, we solely focused on, hindi na po pwedeng just kidding. Come in! Alright, so we solely focused on common mistakes in speaking. However, today, we will be focusing on all the common mistakes. Alright? Welcome to the class. Nice to see you again. Bren. Uy, naalala ko na yung name mo finally. Bren. But I don't remember your name. What? Sabi nga kayo, dali. Para malito tayong lahat. Jomar and Jomar. Don't you want to sit together? Since you have same names. Alright, so again, we will be talking about mistakes. We will be pointing out your weaknesses. Okay? So this data over here will be the results of research, and actually the test results show that these are generally the most common mistakes among IELTS test takers. Oh my God. I'm not yet a mom, but I have a mom brain. Hang on. I forgot to edit a data in this PDF. Apparently, I can't edit it because Sir Kevin sent it to me na locked siya. But I'll try, okay? Kasi may nakalagay dito. 11,000 pesos lang daw yung exam, but apparently it's not. So anyway, just ignore some outdated data from this. Just ignore some outdated data from this PPT because I don't know. Blame Sir Kevin. He didn't update it. Anyways, yeah. Okay. So we have the 4 subtests. We have listening, writing, speaking, and definitely the most horrific of them all. The season is not going to give you more, like, pagdating sa reading, ito na yung pinaka-season niya. Like, dito siya pinaka-sikat right now. Kasi sobrang hirap. Okay, so reading is the most difficult nowadays. So we're trying our best to help you out with your reading because definitely a lot of test takers are getting really low scores on the reading subtest. However, we are going to give you supplementary materials and lectures in order for you to improve your reading. Okay? But it seems like even really good students and students who are proficient in English have a hard time with the reading part. Have you tried it in the mock test? Yes, right? So what can you say about it? Have you ever tried a mock test before? And which one do you think is the most difficult part? Reading, right? Okay. But today we will be focusing on all the 4 subtests. So let's talk about the basic first. Bakit ba hindi nakikita? Hang on. So, I think, ito yun, di ba? Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the most common mistakes. But first, let's talk about why is it so important to point out mistakes. So for sure, there are people in your lives that always point out your mistakes. Like your mom, for example. Or if you're already in a relationship, sometimes if you're married, you tend to point out each other's mistakes, especially when you've been living together for such a long time. Okay? Or even best friends, even brothers, sisters tend to point out each other's mistakes. And most of the time, we get irritated. We get annoyed when people point out mistakes. But the thing is, the reason why we're irritated and annoyed is somehow they're pointing out the truth, right? And we need to know the truth in order for us to avoid recurring mistakes. Meaning, avoiding na ulit-ulitin yung mga mali. Okay, so that's why this lecture is very important because we will be pointing out what are the common areas that you are most probably going to make a mistake on. Okay, so first of all, not listening to the lecture. I don't find any problem with any of you guys right now because you seem to be focused at the moment. But I don't know at 11 a.m. if you're still focused like that. Okay, so hopefully lahat kayo nakapag coffee or breakfast so that you can focus. Oh, Bren, you're welcome to step out of the room. Just kidding. Okay, so not listening to the lecture is a major mistake because, of course, you are investing your hard-earned money paying for the review. And most of you come from faraway places. The transport fee is no joke either. Well, okay, let's not just talk about money, but let's talk about how much time did it take you to prepare and get here? Because money is also equivalent to costs, right? It also costs you your time, okay? Your preparation time and your travel time. And for you not to listen to this lecture, then why are you even here? Okay? So not listening to the lecture is a common mistake. It's as if you are not following an instruction that is given to you. Okay? I know some of you came here lacking sleep or probably you're going through something emotional. Tawang-tawa si Brand. Relate yan. Oh, you look so pretty today, by the way. You did something with your hair. Am I right? Okay, so anyways, some of you may have came here distracted or your mind is preoccupied by so much stress. Because everybody has stress, right? We're experiencing that. It's normal. I've been hearing students saying that sorry if my performance in the coaching session was a bit um, not giving. You know, the performance in the coaching session was not so good because, ma'am, I wasn't able to sleep enough hours because I'm juggling work and studying IELTS. Sometimes some of you here are juggling your time with your kids because some of you here are already parents. So you have to take care of, some of the students are taking care of their kids and then juggling their IELTS plus work. So it's not easy. And I understand that sometimes listening to the lecture doesn't, you don't feel like it. Sometimes iba din yung mood mo, right? But it's very important that you listen and focus. Okay? Next, sleeping during class. Most of the IELTS test takers are usually from the medical field, specifically nurses. Sino dito ang mga nurse? Wala. Okay, binabawi ko na mali yung sabi ko. But what I mean is, most of the students who enroll in this review center are from the medical field. Alam niyo naman, nursing ang pinaka-in-demand ngayon in UK, in Canada, in Australia, because those countries lack medical providers, healthcare providers. Apparently, people from those countries don't want to do that job because they find it very lonely and alam niyo naman, mahirap naman talaga maging nurse, right? And the compensation in the Philippines is not that good. That's why a lot of nurses try to find jobs abroad, okay? And as you know, the nursing shifting is varying from time to time. So meron silang, sometimes it's morning shift or graveyard shift or night shift. And probably you all have, are you still working? Or you're really focused here on IELTS? Janla, you told me before that you're not getting enough sleep, right? But are you focusing in class? Are you capable of focusing in class? Oo lang siya, pero hindi totoo. Okay, so we also have Sean. Where are you from, by the way? Nueva Vizcaya? Oh, iba pala yun. But most of you here are from very far away places, and I understand that the travel period from your house to this place takes a long time, probably a few hours. Kasi ako din, I'm a kind of person who comes here that lacks sleep all the time. Kasi I'm not really used to waking up in the morning so early. So every time I have to come here, I need to wake up really early because it takes me like 2 hours to get ready. Oh, 2 hours to get ready and stuff like that. So I really need to wake up early. But yeah, you need to be able to focus in the class because if you're going to replay this lecture on YouTube, it's more boring because there's no visual. Okay? When I record this, it's just my voice. It's audio. Tapos English pa. Hindi lalong boring pakinggan, right? So, it's very important that you pay attention during the class. And it's an advantage to you guys that you were able to come here. Why? Because you can ask questions live. Unlike those who are watching the replay from home, they don't really get the chance to ask questions live. All right? Next, applying for the exam without preparation for the test. This is one of the most common mistakes among test takers. Yung nagmamadali, okay? When you're being in a rush to take the exam, okay? As you all know, due to inflation, the price of the exam is already up to 13,200. Okay? And you have to pay that much, whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. Okay, so 13,200, right? If you rush it, the tendency is you might not get the band score that you are aiming for. That's why we are always advising students to at least study for 2 months. Maximum is 8 months. But the validity of your review is actually 1 year. She thought that it was until her life ends. Okay, girl, nabudol ka. I'm just kidding. Okay, well, yeah. The validity of the exam is only 1 year. Okay, when did you enroll? Akash, do you remember you paid for the review twice? When did you first enroll? 2022, during the pandemic. After the pandemic. Uh-huh. And you didn't pursue your review or your IELTS that time? Because okay, I understand. Because he just wanted to waste money. Oh my God. Sana all may pang waste. Well, anyways, Akash, I understand. Sometimes things happen and but how much was the review back then in 2022? Oh my God, hindi rin niya alam. Probably your parents paid for it or you just but if it was 2022, I'm guessing that it's around siguro nabawasan na 2,000. So probably 5,000 or 5,500, 7,000 ngayon, ano? But earlier this year, it was 6,500. Ang mahal sa mga ano. So anyway, what we're trying to say here is you will apply for the exam only when you feel like you're ready. Don't let anyone dictate or tell you when to take the exam. Even me, your coach, won't be accurate if I tell you take the exam, you're ready. Because I don't know. I'm not updated with your overall band score, or I'm not updated with your band score when you're taking the mock test, right? I'm just listening to your speaking. So, sa interview, maaring mataas yung nakuha mo sa speaking, sa coaching, but then I don't really know what you get in the listening, reading, and writing. But you don't need to inform me. That's stressful. But just kidding, no. But if you feel like, so, ito yung technique. So, the band score that you need is a 6. And you've been getting 5.5 or 6 or 6.5 during the mock tests and the speaking interview. So that's the time that you're ready for it. When you're already consistently getting the band score that you need. Okay, by the way, your results in the mock test may not be the same on the actual test because, as you know, the tests in the mock tests are more difficult compared to the real thing. That's what they say, but it really depends on the situation. Okay? So, don't rush. But also, you have to find your balance because rushing and taking too much time both have disadvantages. All right? So we have here a student, I think he already celebrated his first year anniversary here in the review. But there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If he feels like he's not yet ready, then take his time, right? It's okay. Meron naman dito, 1 month, 2 months, they just really, really need it. But some of you, your employers are already pressuring you. We need you here to do your job. Okay, so take the exam. But then are you really going to risk the money that you're going to pay for, right? If you want to talk to him now, because later he's going to be gone. Okay. So yeah, it's like when you listen to your body, there's something wrong. Like for example, you're feeling something odd. You need to go to the doctor and get some tests done, just to make sure that there's something, if there's something wrong, right? So you also have to listen to your instincts and to gauge yourself and check nyo rin. Paano nyo mag-gauge yung sarili nyo? You have to keep doing the mock tests and keep going to the coaching sessions for the interviews, okay? Okay, another common mistake. Not reading newspapers or English intellectual articles. Okay, iba sa atin, naririnig pa lang yung word na reading. Oh my God, that's so boring, right? Because we live in a digital age wherein everything is instant. We watch videos to get educated. We watch reels. From YouTube videos to reels. Kasi right now, our attention span is getting shorter and shorter. So, kapag sinabi ni ma'am, ni coach, that you have to read, the first thing that comes to your mind, okay, yeah, I will read, I will read, I will, even though it's not my habit to read, I will read. But then when you go home, do you really read? No. Oh, thank you for your honesty, Brand. She's the only one who's very fearless here. Okay, so we underestimate the power of reading. But reading is essential, especially when it comes to writing. Everyone thinks that if you want to improve your writing, you need to keep writing, you need to keep exercising. But one of the most essential ways for you to improve your writing is through continuous reading. Okay? Why? Reading is so beneficial because it also improves your vocabulary. Right? When you encounter a difficult word, what do you do with it? Yeah, okay na to. Especially, well, no, you don't do that. What you need to do is you need to search it up in the dictionary, right? So, reading has a lot of benefits. It helps you have more input when it comes to writing, and it helps you gain more vocabulary words. Okay, so baka sabihin nyo, ma'am, oo nga, parang outdated yung PowerPoint ni Sir Jeremy. Pero yeah, no, does anybody still read newspapers? How much is it? 20 pesos? 30 pesos? And only for you to throw it later. Kasi outdated na siya within the day, right? So, I'm not saying hindi ka bumili, wag kang bumili ng newspapers. Because, of course, why don't we support local? But the thing is, the truth is, we don't really need it anymore. After reading it, you're gonna put it away and add more clutter in your closet or wherever you store the newspaper. So, what are the alternatives? As I said, we live in a digital age. Everything is accessible online, right? There are a lot of sources. Kung resourceful lang tayo. If you're resourceful, naiinis ako. Ang hirap mag-straight English kasi si Akash. When Akash is here, I can't really speak with you in Filipino. This is sometimes when I hear Sir Kevin's lectures, he speaks to you with, I mean, puro Tagalog talaga siya magsalita pag nag-lecture siya. Have you noticed that? Sometimes he would change from Filipino to English, but most of the time, Tagalog siya para mas maintindihan lahat. However, I can't do that right now. Okay. So yeah, reading materials. I think some of you, I've already showed you engu.com. Na-try nyo nang i-access ang engu.com. It's a very good website because it's complete. It has a lot of news articles, and in the news articles, there are also vocabulary words that you can study and discussion questions that you can answer later on. So, English intellectual articles. Okay. Hindi muna magbabasa ng any language, alright? Refrain from reading. While you're reviewing your IELTS, refrain from reading other materials in another language aside from English. So you have to make sure that all the materials that you're reading are in English so that you can saturate your mind in English, okay? And it can also help you improve your proficiency, okay? So, sino dito mahilig magbasa ng libro? Oh, that's good. How many books do you read in a week? Pinrensure bigla.
Sometimes I just browse my book.
Do you use an ebook or an actual book? Oh, that's nice. I really look up to people who love reading. Because I'm not one of them. Okay, so si Sean. Sean, you're Gen Z. Are you a Gen Z or Gen Alpha? How old are you? He's only 15. You were born in year one. Okay, I think 2010 and above is Gen Z. And then 2010 and below is Gen Alpha. Why are you here? You're reminding us that we're old. I'm just kidding. So, Sean, nagbabasa pa ba ang mga bata ngayon? Bata talaga eh, no? Not really, right? So what do you do to get educated? Or, you know, but you have textbooks in school, right? You read the textbooks. Slide. He reads the textbook slide. Okay. Relate kami. Relate to it. So anyway, I understand. So why? Why is it that you don't like reading anymore? Most of your classmates and friends are also saying like you. Am I right? Because because of TikTok. What? Yeah, actually that's true. You know, sometimes when I'm studying for a lecture, instead of like reading about it, I actually watch supplementary videos because the way they provide the info, they already teach it to you. So yung book, self-explanatory yon, right? The book, when you read it, ikaw mag-interpret, ikaw mag-analyze ng data sa isip mo. But through TikTok videos and YouTube shorts, it's already there. It's instant. And that's what you want nowadays because you live in a generation na namulat ka sa digital age, right? So, huwag niyong gawing excuse na wala ng newspapers, na hindi na kayo mahilig magbasa ng libro. There's always gonna be a lot of resources online. You just have to put in the extra effort, or else you're gonna be stagnant. Okay? So, I'm a little bit worried about the ones who attended the coaching session last week as compared to this week because I feel like we are in the stagnant stage. Kasi parang hindi nag-i-improve yung mga scores natin, masyado. I think I said this a lot of times yesterday. I'll just retain your score because I didn't see much effort. So whenever you get evaluated, you have to take note of those corrections so that you can improve yourself. Okay? When you come back after a week, we can see changes, we can see improvements. Okay? That's why it's not advisable to have the coaching session every day. Wait. Pinzuzulat ni Sir Kevin, no? Okay, if you like doing these mistakes, you are screwed. So it's no longer 11,000 pesos because the updated price of the IELTS exam is 13,200. Ang ganda ng pagkakasabi ng goodbye. Send it to outer space. Wow. Really? Sir Kevin and his ideas, right? Ika lang. May na-miss ba ako na, ano? Ito pala. Sorry, na-miss ko to. Okay. At least 5 coaching sessions if you are in a hurry to take IELTS. Okay? Let's say you only have 2 months or 1 month left. So, probably, if masipag ka pumasok, ay, natawa siya kasi hindi siya masipag. So, in 2 months, you'll be able to attend 8 coaching sessions. If you're masipag and if you come here early and you secure your slot, but then the chances are hindi mo naman talaga makukuha yung 8 sessions na yun within 2 months because probably you got lazy, you didn't come here, or you were late, so you didn't get any slot or anything, right? How about today? See, you got. How about today? Are you angry? Since siya pa talaga yung how about today, siya nga yung late eh. No, don't explain anymore. Do we have extra slots though? Si Jomer na mag-explain. So we have Jomer, Jan Lloyd, Melody, Sophia, John. Give up your slot already. Yeah, it's already 5. So it means, what does it mean? Okay, wait a minute. Ano ba tawag dito? di ba, 5 slots today. So that's gonna take me like probably 2 hours. And I need to stay here only until 2 p.m. Because of traffic. Oh my God, I can't go home. Tapos nami-miss ko yung next kong class, which is I can't do that. Kasi, wala na ako ng work. Okay, so it says here that you should take at least 5 one-on-one speaking coaching. Mag-exam ka ba? When? Ah. Good luck. Sorry, late ka kasi eh. Okay, hit me up on Messenger. Let's talk about it. Okay, so 5 one-on-one speaking coaching sessions, and then 5 writing tasks. Sa mga GT, you're so lucky. Sino dito yung mga GT students? Because apparently, the only thing that you need to study is letter writing. GT ka ba, Jomar? GT ka? Okay, letter writing lang ang kailangan mong i-review, which is very simple. You're just gonna write a letter. Now, if you feel like sobrang baba ng English speaking mo, you have to attend at least 10 coaching sessions. Okay? If you want me to tell you the truth, I'll tell you the truth. If you need 5 or 10 coaching sessions. Okay? So, yeah. So, for the writing tasks, sa mga ACADS, you have to practice all the different writing tasks. Okay? Because you need to, okay? All right. Final assessment for speaking and writing. Okay. But I'm so happy because Sir Kevin he recently posted a lot of answers these past few. Actually, late niya na pinost yun, pero medyo matagal na rin. Within the month, mga nakapag-exam yung mga yun. So it means IELTS is not that difficult. Okay, we are going to talk about the writing mistakes. Oh, by the way, Akash, I sent you an email. Did you read it? Okay, read it later. So it's about writing, okay? And then let's take a look. Okay, General Training Task 1. This is for GT. Okay, sa lahat ng GT dito, makinig mabuti, okay? These are the common mistakes. But later on, when I finish talking about this, you can take a break because I'll be talking to the ACAD students only. Okay, pero you can still stay because may mapupulot rin naman kayo. You will be having takeaways from the mistakes that ACAD students already have. Okay? So, full block format from opening to closing remarks. Okay, so when you're writing a letter, it should be block format. When we say block, it means hindi nalalagyan ng indentation. Do you know what indentation is? Andito lang naman lahat ng GT, right? So, hindi ko muna kayo mapansin. Indentation. Do we know what indentation is? Yun yung nakausog ng konti. Huh? Yes, exactly. The first sentence of the paragraph is inserted like a centimeter or something more inner to the paragraph, okay? So, when you're writing a letter, general training peaks, okay? Make sure that it's no longer indented. Block format lang, okay? From opening to closing remarks. Okay, don't put the address and the name of the recipient at the top part of your letter. It's no longer necessary to do that. That's the old style, okay? Huh? Yes. You're gonna put it when you write here, ma'am, sir, or to whom it may concern. But of course, if it's a personal letter, you don't say dear ma'am, sir. Okay? A personal letter is written to someone that you already know. That's why you will directly put the name of your mother or dear mom, dear dad, like that. But if it's a formal letter, that's when you put ma'am, sir, and the surname of the person that you intended to read the letter. Okay? Okay, so don't forget the commas. Okay, I want to generalize this to saying don't forget punctuation marks in general. Because a lot of test takers, they underestimate the power of punctuation marks. They don't know that commas, apostrophes, and periods are highly important. Remember, if in your speaking subtest, grammar is not that important because you don't leave any evidence when you're speaking. Even if I pause or full stop, you won't know if I made that error, right? But in writing, everything is seen on the paper. So, para sa mga paper-based tests, it's gonna be more difficult because your spacing and all that, you need to consider it when you're writing. Even your eligibility and your handwriting, your penmanship, that's all considered in the pen and paper based test. But since all of you are going to be taking the computer based test, you don't have to worry about that, right? Is everyone going to take the computer based test here? Yes. So that's the advantage of the computer based test. You just click space and you have a space. All right. But of course, too much of everything is also wrong. So isang space lang kada word. Okay. And of course, you have to put space under each paragraph in the letter. Okay. Even when you're writing an essay, you have to put space after each paragraph. Okay. Don't forget the commas. Where do you put the comma? After dear or after the name? Okay. Wow, someone's studying. Good job. Okay. Next, answer all bullet points. So sa instruction, there's always an instruction when you're doing a writing task, right? So in the instruction, it will be said there, what do you need to do in the letter? Write a letter to asking for blah, blah, blah. Now, may naka-indicate doon na sa instruction, ano yung mga kailangan mo? Let's say it's a letter of request, right? So you have to make sure that you include all the things that are written in the instruction, okay? Because you have to really read the instruction properly so that you can incorporate all the necessary things needed in the letter. Because if you miss out any of those in the bullets, then you're screwed. You'll get point deductions, and we don't want that. So, isipin mo, ang dami mo ng deduction sa spelling, sa punctuation, sa spacing, tapos dinagdagan mo pa ng, kinulangan mo pa ng sagot sa bullet points. So, ano na lang score mo nun? Right? Most probably you're gonna fail the writing task. And here, know who you are writing for. This is really important. As I said earlier, if it's a personal letter, there's no need for you to use ma'am, sir, or don't use too formal language. Just use a casual tone. Okay? But if it's a formal letter, that's when you use a formal tone. Formal language. Okay? So you have to know who you're writing for. And that is already indicated where? Where? In the instruction, right? It says there, write a letter to blah, 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 and then do this and that. So you have to always consider all these important points in order for you to successfully provide a letter. Okay? So now we're done This is only for the GT students. May tanong ba kayo? Do you have any questions? Ha? Nakahinga na siya maluwag. But then you can still listen to the next lecture if you want, even though if it's for ACAD. Do you have any questions about the writing? How's your writing tasks, by the way? Whoa, you got a 6? And how about you, Ruby? Whoa, and you only need what? Apparently, the mock test is more difficult than the actual. But I don't know. Is it true?
Which school do that?
Well, each exam individually made for each student. So it really depends if yun yung matatapat sa'yo, no? So keep taking the mock test so that you can encounter all levels of difficulty, right? May tanong ka ba, Jan Lloyd, about these? Okay. Kung pwede, please attend writing lectures from Sir Kevin. Ina-announce niya naman po kung kailan talaga yung mga writing lectures niya for GT students and for ACAD students. Or else, if you can't wait because you feel like writing is your weakness, what do? Do you still keep waiting for Sir Kevin to announce a lecture? No. What you can do is you go to Wongchong and you click the search button. You can click the search button and type writing task or whatever you need to search. You can search it there. Okay? So watch his replay videos. Is that good? Kasi marami ding, hindi lang pala reading yung pinakamahirap ngayon sa IELTS. I've heard that even the writing is difficult. Okay? Lahat naman difficult sa'yo, Brand. Yeah siya ng yeah. Okay. What are the types of letters that can come out on the general training students? So we have letter of invitation, application letter, resignation letter, recommendation letter, complaint letter, and letter of request. And as you can see, the complaint letter and the letter of request, those two are the most common. But then, it doesn't mean you're not going to practice and review the rest, okay? Kasi, maaring most common yung complaint at request, pero baka rin naman lumabas for you is yung invitation. Tapos hindi mo ni-review. So, that's not good, okay? So you have to review all of these. You have to be familiar on how to write all of these different types of letters. Okay? Yeah. Apology letter. Can you speak a little louder? I can't hear you.
I know the apology letter.
Okay. And how was it?
I'm not very good.
Hindi daw siya marunong mag-apologize.
Writing the apology letter, but
What?
that is the first time I encountered it.
Okay, apology letter. I think this is one of the most important letters that you should study. Because when you're living in another country, you're not living with people that you really know, okay? Hindi sila kapwa Pinoy. They're foreign people. And foreign people appreciate formal apologies, okay? Sa Pilipinas lang yung parang ang hirap mag-apologize, right? Filipinos are not really known for apologetic people. And hashtag apologetic, hashtag unbothered. Mga ganyan tayong mga Pinoy eh. But reality hits when you're living in another country, you need to be more humble. Okay? So yeah, the apology letter is also very important. Sabi mo nga kanina, outdated yung PowerPoint presentation. And apparently he's gonna hear this lecture. Well, he didn't give me the version na pwede kong i-edit, kaya hindi ko na rin siya na-edit. But yes, an apology letter is written. For example, you sent out a lot of application letters. And finally, one of the companies already hired you. But you received another letter from other companies asking you to attend an interview because apparently they're looking for an employee. However, you already got hired from the first company. That's when you write an apology letter to tell them, I'm sorry, I can't proceed with my application. I won't be proceeding with my application because I have been hired already. So it's very important na nagre-reply tayo, okay? Be responsive. Why? Basta. No. You have to be responsive because, let's say, you don't like the company na pinagtrabahuhan mo na na-hire ka, right? So you don't like it anymore. So what you do is, ayaw mo na doon. May chance ka dun sa isa. So since you showed formality, you replied and said, you apologized. Next time that you need to apply again, they can see your record. Uy, marunong tong makipag-usap. Because communication is really, really important. You know, you need to communicate. Hindi pwedeng silent treatment lang. Okay, alam ko uso yan ngayon sa mga, ha? AWOL? Kanyang arte ni Mamo. Awol lang sabi ko, AWOL pa siya. AWOL kasi alam ko yung pronounce dun eh. Ano mo talaga? AWOL, di ba? O sige, Tagalog na yung awol. Okay, sorry. sorry Apology letter sent. Apology letter. Okay, let's move on. Okay, tapos na talaga tayo sa GT. Ay, hindi pa pala. This is the format. Picturean nyo na lang, di ko na-explain. Okay, so ayan. Tama si Jomer! The comma is placed after sir and then. Okay, so these are the parts of the GT letter. So we have the greeting. The first paragraph must already show the purpose of the letter. I am writing this letter for blah, blah, blah. Next, succeeding paragraphs address the bullet points. So that's why I said earlier, you have to be able to read the instruction properly so that you can address all the bullet points. Okay? Iba dun sa may letter writing. So, you're gonna write an apology letter. Let's say, hindi ka makakapasok because nagkaroon ka ng emotional breakdown. You were sick for a few days, right? So, ang mangyayari, sasabihin dun sa instruction, indicate the reason why you are not gonna go to work or report to work. Indicate for how many days you're gonna be missing. Indicate a solution, for example, or an alternative. I will pass on my duties to my coworker. Mga ganyan. And then action paragraph, third bullet point. What the action is going to be. And then, ito, optional lang to. Contact details. And of course, thank you. Sa closing remarks, alam nyo na yan. Sincerely, yours truly, sincerely yours, respectfully. Yeah, respectfully. Always respect. Always respect. Okay, that's it. That's the format of the GT letter. Take a picture, or probably we'll just send you the handouts of this presentation if you want. If you don't want, that's okay. That's okay. Okay. So now, academic students. Are you an academic student? Can you move here? Para dito naman ako titingin. Sino ba? Ikaw din? Ba't kanina ang responsive mo sa GT? Kala ko tuloy GT ka.
Kasi look at me so that's
Hi. It's nice to see you up close. I just don't know if you're gonna be happy seeing me up close during the interview later. Oh, ano na? Si Aubrey. Hindi ka ba magpapa-coaching? I think you're sick. I saw it on Facebook. Right? Get well soon. Uy, dapat ng face mask ka. Face mask. Ano na nga ulit pangalan mo? Sophia. Sophia, Brand, Catherine, Aubrey, Sean, and Akash. Hello. Why do you guys look so sad? Pwede na kayong umuwi. You can go home. No, you can take a break if you want. But if you want to stay here, it's okay because aircon, ang init kaya sa labas. Okay. Task description. Sir Kevin even put an angry emoji. He would always say na hindi niya gusto ang akad. But no, I'm not biased like him. But he would always say that he really has a favorite, which is the GT students. Just because ACAD students are so kulit. ACAD students tend to be more like difficult to teach. Probably because you already kasi di ba pag ACAD and you're gonna take a you're gonna apply for a student visa or working visa na medyo hindi pang skilled workers. You kind of have that pride and ego. So kaya sinasabi niya lagi na favorite niya daw ang GT student. Pero joke lang niya lang yan. Don't take it personally, okay? So one thing that you need to learn in life is never take things personally because everything in life is a joke. Is a joke, Everything in life is just subjective to a person's feelings, okay? So if they say something hurtful, just ignore it. And for you na hindi pa kilala si Sir Kevin, some of you might misinterpret him, but actually, he's just a very humorous person. Okay, task description. The chart shows the percentage of each region's male and female population aged over 15 who can read and write. So one of the most important things that you need to remember when you are doing an introduction for your writing is never copy the words from the task description. It's possible to copy one or two words that you feel like are most essential, but copying the whole instruction is not a good idea. Okay? The best thing that you could do is paraphrasing. So, this is a writing test, okay? So, the writing test is intended to check how equipped you are with your vocabulary and your expression. Now, if you just copy what's written in the task description, it just goes to show that you are not that flexible. You are not that knowledgeable. Your vocabulary bank is not so rich. So, why would the why would British Council give you credit for just copying what's written in the task description? Okay? So that's why the solution is paraphrase. And when we say paraphrase, you're going to use different words and expressions to express the same meaning. Okay? Same message, same meaning, but different words. And probably sometimes different sentence structure. Why? Because you need to be tested whether you are flexible enough, versatile enough to handle different vocabulary words and to check your lexical resources. Okay? So, here's an example. The bar graph provides information on the male and female literacy rates in the world who are 15 years and above. The study was conducted in 1996. So, as you can see, there are certain words that were caught. Yun ay, what? Male and female lang, right? But the other words, they were changed. But did the meaning change? No. Okay? Yung mga words na hindi mo pwedeng palitan, like male and female. Oo, tama. Ito naman si ate, oh. You must be kidding me. Okay, just kidding. So, yeah. There. So, why can't we change it to boys and girls, men and women? We can't do that because boys and girls are considered kids. Okay? 15 years, pababa. But it says here, 15 years and above. Kaya, you can only keep it like that, male, female. Okay? So, another example. The table below shows the number of deaths caused by earthquakes over the past decade for each country as well as the magnitude on the Richter scale. Now, I will show you an example of the wrong intro. The table below shows the number of deaths caused by earthquakes over the past decade for each country and the magnitude on the Richter scale. Okay, naka-underline yung mga errors. The table below shows. So why are we not going to use that? Because apparently there's no table. Okay? Now, why did we consider the word Nemesis as wrong? Hindi siya pwedeng maging parallel sa word na death. Because, can you Google it now? What is the meaning of Nemesis? Wala akong data. Tingnan mo na yung cellphone ng katabi mo. Okay, what is the meaning of Nemesis? Yes, louder, please.
Person that.
A person's dead. Can you use Cambridge Dictionary? Cambridge.com. Nemesis.
Death or dying.
Okay, death or dying. But there's also another meaning of nemesis actually. Okay? Which is a little more confusing. So it's not really parallel to the meaning of this one. Okay. Hang on, please. Let me just access the Cambridge Dictionary. When I am searching something like a word, I always use Cambridge Dictionary because apparently it's the most accurate and it has examples as well. Okay, so why is the word nemesis not hindi namin kino-convince na gamitin nyo is because it also has another meaning, which the end of something that was previously considered to be powerful. So it can be about, it's not just dead. It can pertain to something else. The end of something else.
Termination.
Yes, okay, that's right. That's why it can't be used as an alternative for the word dead in this context. In this context lang naman. Because the word nemesis can be considered as another word, right? Which is the end of something, like the end of a business, the end of an era, something like that, okay? Caused by earthquakes over the past decade. So, kinapi lang yan. Kinapi lang yung mga words. That's why this is considered as the wrong intro. Okay, so these are the recommended answers. The illustration provides the figures of fatalities, okay? Fatalities is a good word to alter the word dead. Due to systemic disturbances in the last 10 years for 11 countries and the strength of the earthquake on the Richter scale. Okay? If, and another example is the one below. Kung manonotice nyo, this is the best way that you can paraphrase that task description. Okay? Because you didn't just copy the words that are written, you used words that convey a more accurate meaning to the word death. So fatalities, right? So since you're academic students, you have to consider the language that you're using, which should be in the academic field. Okay? That's why the previous example is not recommended, but this one is much better. Do you get the point? Thank you. Because I'm tired. Let's take a break. What time is it? 10:31. Okay, let's have a 5-minute break. You can go out, but there's nothing out. But you can take a toilet break, okay? So guys, 15 minutes pa, puro akad lang to. Virtual class. Hindi siya totoong review, chika lang siya. So, tomorrow is Saturday, right? One more week! Can you believe that? I'm so excited. Actually, I've been a fan for such a long time. But, ngayon lang ako manonood. Pero, di ba, yung mga Lainey songs, they're actually known for, what do you call that? For being very emotional. But, it doesn't mean na gusto ko yung kanta na yun yung pinagdadaanan ko. It doesn't mean. Siguro, may mga songs lang sila na parang nakaka-relate ka in one phase of your life. Right? Kasi, syempre, kilala mo yung Lainey? Do you know Lainey? Are you gonna watch a concert? Oh, too bad. Because we are gonna watch it. Ang sama na ugali eh. Tapos di pala ako natuloy, no? Hala! I'm so excited to meet Paul. And I was worried. You know why? Because I told Paul. I told Paul, close pala kami. Hindi. Hindi kasi, are you updated with what's happening to him? Oh, no, not that one. Recently, he canceled Seoul, Korea, and another city's concert because of his, yeah, meron siyang tonsillitis, but meron din siyang tonsil stones. Hindi niya describe as tonsil stones. Siguro ayaw niya lang mag-worry yung fans niya. But apparently, it looks like tonsil stones kasi pinost niya sa story niya yun eh. Okay, anyway, let's stop talking about Lainey. Stop calling me. Why is it not working? Why? Share screen. Hmm. Okay, so let's continue the lecture about ACAD writing. So as you can see, one of the other common mistakes, one of the common mistakes is fragments. Okay, when we say fragments, they're actually words that don't complete an idea. Okay, so one of them is the word while. You can never start your sentence with the word while. It always connects a sentence in between. Okay, so it's very wrong. It's very wrong. In 1996, Sweden recorded the highest percentage in the coffee market with an outstanding 56% share. That was, as you can see, this is an error because the sentence started with the word while. It's not supposed to start with the word while. With the word while, it's supposed to be continued with a comma. Okay? While Finland was accounted for 2% less share. So always remember, never begin your sentences with fragments. I know that it's very pressuring kasi isa sa mga rules is don't make an introduction that is only a sentence long. Okay? So, na-pressure siya. Kaya, pinilit niya. Ano ba sa Tagalog pinilit? Yeah. It was forced since one of the instructions of the task is not to make one complete sentence as an introduction. So as you can see, it was forced to be two sentences. But the thing is, it's just one sentence, okay? So again, don't start your sentences with fragments. Okay, let's read another example. Of all the causes of sleep-related accidents, poor modern roads brought about the greatest figure of fatalities at 72%. Kung mapapansin nyo, hindi ako nag-full stop. Because it's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to be continued, okay? Followed by driver's error at 65%. Again, do not start your sentence with followed by. It's supposed to be a continuation. All right? And even the tone. If you're going to read it aloud, even the tone says that you have to just pause and not full stop. Okay? So, it sounds much better if you just pause and then continue the sentence. Okay, next. I just have to make sure that hindi pala naka-share kasi. Bakit naka-post yung sharing? Share ko na nga eh. Yeah, okay. Repetitive use of words. Again, as I mentioned earlier, you have to make sure that you showcase your vocabulary and lexical resources in your writing section so that the exam, the one who will check your exam can give you a good high score. Okay? So, the example given is Canada spent 15% on education in 1997, while US spent 20%. UK spent 25%, while Ireland spent 16%. If you notice, the word spent was used how many times? 4. Okay? Does it sound good? It doesn't sound like you're competitive in the area of vocabulary. Okay? So if you want to show that you're competitive and that you can come up with different synonyms, then most probably let's go ahead and use other words, other synonyms, okay? Such as UK splurged 25%. So why did we use splurged in the beginning? Because when we say splurged, it means it's the highest possible percentage, okay? Pero na stiff neck. Okay. 25% of its budget in education, while Ireland allocated 16%. In addition, US expenditure was accounted for a fifth of the total, while Canada spent. Oh, isang beses lang ginamit yung spent. So, ubus na ubus ka na talaga. Okay, so when you can't think of anything else, okay, fine, use the word spent. Okay, 15% on government subsidized learning in 1997. Okay, so there, we used 3 different words, but same meaning. Okay, well, the word splurge, not exactly same, because as I said earlier, when you use the word splurge, you're talking about the highest number, to the highest extent. Okay, I splurged my savings for the Lady concert. I'm just kidding. But that's a good example though, right? Not necessarily true though, okay? So this is the example of block format. Just for reference, so that you can visually see what it looks like. So when we say block format, there's no indentation. This is the block format and this is the indented paragraphs. The indented paragraphs has you click tab, right? You click tab and then there's indentation. So you have to make sure that when you're writing an essay or a letter, it should be block format. And of course, put a space after each paragraph. Hindi na natin palabasahin yan. Sobrang haba. Okay. We will be providing you the PDF file so that you can review this lecture on your own. Okay, formatting mistakes. So sa mga hindi, for those, nakakalimutan ko mag-say English. For those who are not familiar with Google Word documents. Sino ba dito hindi pa familiar doon? Is everyone already familiar how to use Word documents in Microsoft and Google? So yes, you already know how to use. If I were you, keep practicing because may mga tools kasi doon eh. Para familiar ka na how to use those tools, okay? Not leaving spaces between paragraphs. This is a common mistake. You have to be able to leave spaces. Everything needs space, right? Okay. Erasing words within sentences and leaving space blank. So you don't erase. Actually, this advice is for pen and paper based candidates because you have a tendency to make these mistakes. But the good thing about computer based test takers, definitely hindi nyo na problem yung space at saka kung ano-ano. Alright, leaving blank spaces at the end of sentences when the succeeding word can still fit in that space. Papakita ko yung example later. Wait lang. And of course, capitalization. I want to put emphasis on capitalization because it seems like everyone is taking this for granted. You only have to capitalize what? The first word in each sentence, the word I when it's used as a subject, And definitely proper nouns. The name of places, people, persons, companies, brands, countries, cities, continents, those are supposed to be capitalized. Okay? Let's see some examples. The graph shows online ad placement in 2001 in the UK based on types of sites. These sites include web, navigation portals, news and finance, entertainment, computing, and others. This is written in the instruction. So if they want to capitalize it and underline it for emphasis, they can. But when it comes to writing, there's no need to do that. Okay? Because these are not proper nouns. They are actually common nouns. What's the proper noun for web? Google, and Yahoo.com. What else? Firefox. Safari, yes, for iPhone users. And what else? We have MSN. MSN? Do people still use Firefox and MSN? I just use Google actually. In Korea, it depends on the country, by the way. How about in India? What do you use? Safari too? Okay. Halatang iPhone user siya. You're an iPhone user, right? You have an iPhone, yeah, okay. So we also have, in Korea, we have neighbor.com. But don't use it. It's in Korean. But I think they do have a translator. Okay, news and finance, entertainment, these are all common nouns. So, magagamit nyo to sa mga GT, yung capitalization of generic words. Make sure that you identify what are generic words and what are proper nouns. Okay? So this is the corrected version. Next. So, as you can see, there's a space over here. Can you see that? That's a mistake. So if kaya mo bang if you can still make a word fit, make it fit. Okay? Pero what if the word is too long? And I can't make it fit. So what you should do is you have to use syllabic what do you call that? Proportions. Okay? You will mamaya, papakita ko na nga ng example. So hard. Oh my God. I'll just show you the example to get this done. Okay, erasures. Don't leave space for erasures. What you do is you put a line strike through. Do you know what a strike through is? It's a line in the middle of a word. But of course, it's a horizontal line, not a vertical line. If it's a vertical line, then you should put a line on each letter. But a horizontal line is for the whole word. So, ayan, this is an example. So if you made a mistake writing an extra word, then you just put a strike. And then, eto, countries. So bakit hindi nilagay yung hyphen? Why didn't I put the hyphen before the T? Because it would be country. But the right syllabic slash is count, not count. Countries, okay? Country. Counties. Baka Pilipino naman nun. Okay. So yeah, you divide it depending on the syllable sounds. Okay, any questions? Again, for erasures, you just put a strike through. Okay. So this one is for the ones who would like to retake. Let's say, nag-IELTS ka. Pero one of the tests hindi mo nakuha yung desired band score mo. What you can do is do a one skill retake test. But then you have to pay. You still have to pay. I've heard from Rain it's 9,000 if it's a one skill retake. But actually here I'm gonna briefly talk about the rechecking, okay? Because apparently, if you feel like you're confident with your test, but then you didn't get the desired score, and you're like questioning it, you can apply for rechecking, okay? Um, the detailed information about the payment, the process, it's posted on the Wong Chong group, okay? Because I can't really explain that right now, okay? So, meron kasing ganong cases. Because if you feel like there's a gut feeling, okay naman yung performance ko. I made sure that I did everything. I exhausted all my brain cells for this test. Why did I get this score? Apply for a recheck because there's a chance that when you're rechecking it, you will get a better or higher score, right? So go for that. Okay, now let's talk about using all caps. Tama ba na mag-all caps? Alam ko, pag nag-fill out tayo ng SSS form or pag-ibig form, somehow it is instructed to use all caps for better handwriting and penmanship recognition. But when it comes to writing here in the writing task, it's not encouraged to use all caps. Okay? Okay. Another common mistake is misinterpretation. That's why it's highly important that you read, reread, analyze, and understand every instruction given in the writing task. Or else, what happens if you misunderstand it? You supply the wrong information and you supply wrong content, right? So, in order for you to interpret the instruction properly, you have to ask yourself several questions. Okay, percentage of UK population over 4 years. Oh, population over 4 years old. 4 years old. Okay, so we have here noon, time of the day or night. Aha, over 4 years old watching TV and listening to the radio. Very outdated because who listens to the radio these days? Radio is replaced by Spotify or podcasts. Who loves listening to podcasts? Wala. Ako lang. I like listening to podcasts because it enhances your listening skills. And sometimes when I'm multitasking, like I have to do something on the computer, that's I don't really can't use my eyes to watch something. What I do is listen to podcasts. It's really effective, you know. And anyways, sige, pagtsagaan natin tong lumang data na to. So we have here the percentage of young people over 4 years old watching the radio and then watching TV. As you can see, the ones watching radio is declining. And up to this age, it has reached zero. Zero. No, I'm just kidding. Who still listens to the radio? Kasi meron pa din naman eh. Right? Huh? Oh yeah, when you're driving, when you're on a long drive, and then you forgot to connect your Bluetooth, or probably you don't have data, right? So you can connect your Bluetooth. So yeah, wala ka ng choice kundi radio. Sometimes it helps, right? Okay, television, as you can see, there's an upward trend in ages 6 to 8 years old. But then, ay joke lang. Oras pala to. Wait, ulit. So there, we have the time. So 6 to 8 p.m., there's a rising, an increase of individuals watching television. But when it comes to definitely 2 to 6 p.m. a.m., nobody watches TV anymore. So again, is it difficult to interpret? Not really, right? It's quite simple and easy. Sometimes we overinterpret, and that's not necessary. Just simplify everything. Get the information that is needed. For example, information that we need to know is the rate of TV and radio watchers and listeners, right? And we also have to take note that this is in the UK, people in the UK. And we also have to take note that this is the talking about population who are over 4 years old. Okay? At of course, this is the percentage, the vertical line and the horizontal line is the time of the day or night. Those are the vital information that you need to take note of. Okay? Careful analysis of the graphs leads one to undeniably surmise that television is highest in the percentage of watchers, while radio is a bit lower in the study. Why is this example trying too hard? Why do you think so? The words that are used are too complex, right? What else? There's capitalization errors as well, because television is not a proper noun. It's actually just a common noun. Okay. So this is the correction. Let's read it. Overall, more people watch television than listen to the radio. Although a greater percentage of the populace did the latter during the morning, watching TV recorded more audience at night. If you notice something, is comprehension. Okay? Comprehension is very important. It's not so I understand that you're exhausting your vocabulary and lexical resources. That's why you're trying so hard to input and incorporate complex vocabulary. But the most important thing when you're writing is you are being understood in the most simplest way. Okay? Kasi baka kakagamit mo ng complex words, the meaning changes or it's more difficult. Or maybe you tend to use words that are inappropriate for that situation. That's why if you could use simple words but understandable, then much better, isn't it? So yeah, there you go. Writing each figure. Okay, this is also a mistake. Right? Sometimes if it's possible that you are going to pertain to highest, lowest, you can use those words instead of inputting the numbers. Okay? You can replace them with words, like what the example shows here. But of course, the numbers or the figures that are highly important, of course, don't forget to put them there. So since binanggit dito on that same figure, there's no need to write it anymore. And you can just use words. Naboboring na yung mga GT students. Di ba ba tapos, ma'am? Okay, another one. General overview that has a figure. So overall, Asia had the highest population growth rate at 6.2% annually, while North America had the lowest with 1.2%. So instead of mentioning the figures or the numbers, you can just simply say overall, Asia had the highest population growth rate. Asia, highest population, 6.2. And then North America had the lowest. Okay, again, you're somehow paraphrasing it, but it sounds more simple, but still very understandable. Okay? Ito yung example kanina eh. Skip na natin, na mali lang siya ng lagay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, other tips when you are talking about dates. Okay? You can use during the year, in the year, or in. Okay? So, when you read the task or the information written, you can change it. Hindi naman kailangan, you don't need to copy what's written in the instruction. You can use other words. Okay? Writing task 2 mistakes. We're moving on to the next.
Yeah, you have a watch that works. Because mine is not working. Oh, 11 then pala.
Okay, let's continue. Task description. These are more examples. You can also listen, okay? Ayan na, common mistake in IELTS, sleeping. Sleeping in class. Okay, gadgets.
Papunta ng kape.
Pinigil pa natin. Okay, gadgets such as cars, refrigerators, and televisions have become must-have. This is beneficial to society. Do you agree or disagree with the statement? Give your opinion. Okay, so the task is asking you if you agree or disagree. So you have to give your point. Okay? Again, it says here you have to only give one stand. So kung tatanungin niyo ako kung i-discuss niyo ba agree and disagree, both no. You will only choose one, whether you disagree or agree. And then give reasons and examples. Okay? So do you agree that gadgets such as cars, refrigerators, and televisions have become must-haves? This is beneficial to society. So, are you agreeing on it? Yes, right? We agree that cars and refrigerators. I think I agree with cars and refrigerators, but television, not really. Not anymore, I guess. Hmm? Why? On YouTube. Yes, that's right. But I had a coaching session with one of the students yesterday, and this was our topic, television. So what is the nowadays, since everyone has their own gadget, we tend to stay in the room longer. The thing is, yung family bonding, nako-compromise because of not yung importance ng television, hindi na siya na-highlighted in this era, right? So one student, I talked to him and he said that he still watches TV with his dad because they have this common interest in news. Oh, that's so sweet, right? But I feel like he's right. Sometimes if that's the only bonding time that you can get with your parents, especially you guys, since you're gonna leave soon, so might as well exhaust that time that you have because you never know what the future holds. So, anyways, again, I agree that cars, refrigerators, and televisions are essential and they are must haves. So, you state if you agree or disagree, and of course, you give your opinion. So, nakikita niyo naman yung picture. What does that mean? It's a mistake. Why is it a mistake? Simply because inulit lang. It was just repeated. And then it was not, the reason and the example was not extended or expounded, right? That's why this is not an ideal answer. I'll give you an example of an ideal answer. The increasing reliance of modern society on the efficiencies brought about by technology has led to the widespread use of gadgets and their incorporation into everyday life. Totoo naman. Because we need cars and TV and refrigerator, especially. Okay? Some of these tools have become so widely used that possessing them has become a necessity to function effectively. Although there are advantages to this, I support the idea that it does. Okay, so as you can see, the examiner agreed. Binigay niya yung statement na nag-agree siya, and then supplementary reasons plus his or her own opinion. Although there are advantages to this, I support the idea that it does more harm than good to the community. So yun yung opinion niya. Nag-agree naman siya, pero meron din siyang sariling opinion, which is what? The opinion is it does harm the community because as we know, cars, nag-release sila ng harmful gases which contribute to our air pollution. And then, yung ref din, yung ref tsaka aircon, di ba? They harm the outer layer of the earth. Anyway, this is not a science class. Let's skip that. And of course, any electrical device, really, it exhausts the energy that the earth has. So that's why sometimes we have Earth Hour, right? Because we want like the whole world to stop and kind of preserve the energy. Kasi sa totoo lang, we all know that Earth is deteriorating. So sad. Okay, now this is an example of shallow content. Kung mapapansin nyo, yung length ng paragraph, it's too short. It's not ideal, okay? So this is an example of shallow content, and this is an example of a better content. You can take a screenshot if you want, or you can just wait for us to reset the link. Okay. Yan yung mga topic na, actually these writing topics are actually also coming out in the speaking. Okay? So, sa mga ACADS, especially since you're going to talk about academic level topics, so i-take note nyo yung mga na-encounter yung writing topics because they will most likely also be tackled or it will come out in your interview. Okay? Okay, let's have another example of a task description. Advertisements put pressure on children to buy objects like food and toys. Parents blame ads for the negative effect on children, while advertisers say they provide useful information. This is the instruction. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Give reasons and examples. Okay, so you will discuss both views, meaning you have to supply information for both views. And at the end, you have to also give your opinion. Sabi ng mga GD, buti na lang letter writing lang kami. Do you find it difficult, the writing task in the mock test? Yeah, I know. Tingnan mo naman yung mga topics, di ba? You have to be, you have to have awareness when it comes to latest news. And of course, not just latest news, but social issues. Okay? So if you need supplementary materials for that, I suggest that you could watch or probably access TED Talk, TED Talk articles, and they also have videos. And of course, engu.com, as I said, because they also, ano lang siya, ENGOO, that's .com. Because engu.com will really help you stay updated with current news, okay? Let's take a look at examples. This is inappropriate vocabulary sample. Ano tawan-tawa siya? Again, let's read the commercial. The task description. Advertisement put pressure on children to buy objects like food and toys. Parents blame ads for the negative effect on children, while advertisers say they provide useful information. Commercial advertisements in the boob tube are ideally, ano lang to, nilagay lang niyang alternative for YouTube. Because if they write YouTube, it's like they're advertising the site. Okay? Are ideally designed in order to publicize a particular product. In this way, the vast plethora of the masses are made knowledgeable in the different facets of a particular product for consumption. So, why is this inappropriate vocabulary sample? What do you think, Jomer? Well, marami kayong pinag-uusapan dalawa dyan eh. Why do you think it's inappropriate? Kasi ako lumipat sa pwesto na to, sabi ni Sophia. Redundancy. Very good. That's right. Of course, that's true. Redundancy. And as you can see, highfalutin words are incorporated in this sample. Meaning, huh? Yes, what is it? So sometimes when you're using highfalutin words, sometimes you can't be consistent along with your other writing tasks. So it might put you in a bad spot. Okay? As I said earlier, if you could use simple language in the academic level, you can secure a good score. Okay? Another example, pero ayoko nang basahin. Ang sakit na nilalamunan ko. Okay, this is another example of inappropriate vocabulary sample. At hindi siya nagbigay ng appropriate sample. It's okay. But what this is trying to show us is that it's not necessary to really supply really difficult words or complex words. But if your level, let's say you're an advanced level student and you feel like you're confident enough to use words that are actually more complex than normal individuals, then you may do so. But make sure that the comprehension of your paragraphs or your answers are, you know, more understandable. Okay? Okay, these are the things that you need to avoid. Language that does not contribute to clarity in communication. Latin phrases like status quo, ergo, and infinitum. I don't know how to pronounce these ones. But I don't think that, ginagamit niyo ba yung mga words ito? How about the term RSVP? I think it's a Latin word as well. Is RSVP a Latin acronym? Not everyone knows what RSVP is. Yung pag nagpapa-reserve ka ng slot, di ba? Okay, so you have to avoid foreign. So it has to be English all throughout your writing. Some use big words like colic, quintessential that are gravely inappropriate. Advise candidates to use simple rather than complicated English. Okay. So, one reason why you are not advised to use highfalutin words and complex words is definitely because sometimes those difficult words are only used in certain situations na hindi siya appropriate sa situation na kailangan mong i-explain. Alright? So, much better to be safe, okay, than sorry. How about you? How do you write your writing? Like, when you're doing your writing test, mga academic, how do you supply words para hindi paulit-ulit or normal? What do you do to improve your vocabulary when you're writing?
I just,
Yes?
Tingnan mo sa Google ng alternate na sinunod ng words.
Where did that sound come from?
May nakakonect dyan.
Sino?
Baka si sir. From the speaker.
I'm not connected. Cesar Noel? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Can you say it again, please?
Sorry.
What do you do again?
Hindi mo sa Google ng ibang alternate na. Or other synonyms.
Okay. You mean during the writing task, you're doing it? Now, when you're on the actual mock test, how do you improve your content? Yes?
I will use advertisement. But use advertisement
If you're gonna paraphrase it, what do you use then?
brochure
Huh?
or commercial.
Okay, brochure or commercial. Or what else?
Flyer.
Hirap lang. Info yung dami mahirap.
Yeah, it's hard, right? So, ikaw ba na-experience mo na yung mock test? And how was it? How was the writing test? Can you tell me? So kaya pala yung isa doon ayaw gumana nung...
Oh, hindi ah.
Siya pala, alam niyo na. Lahat yun narinig, naka-record yan. So, yes, it is said here that no debate words. So instead of using hyphenated words, what you could do is describe and give examples. Okay? That way, you're more understandable and more precise. Okay? Precision is very important when it comes to IELTS, even in your speaking. Okay? Yung bigla kang napatagalog, syempre, explain mo na ngayon kung ano yung sinigang, right? Because you can't really speak Filipino words during the interview or any foreign words. Okay, wrong conclusion. Eto, these are the words or phrases that you need to avoid. At the end of the day, personally, I believe I have to say that I agree with the statement that technology such as refrigerators and cars are beneficial to people. Okay. So the best way for you to conclude your sentence, because the conclusion is the last part of your essay. Because sa ACAD writing, di ba, essay yung pinapagawa sa inyo. So your introduction must be powerful. You should supply with a good body, which is siguro 3 points. And then, of course, the conclusion. Everyone thinks that conclusion is just, you take it for granted. But actually, conclusion is very important. Why? It's your chance to summarize your thoughts and to leave a good message. Okay? Kasi sa conclusion, dun mo masasabi yung pinaka-last mong thoughts. And of course, definitely, I think the conclusion is also a way for you to leave your readers thinking of an idea or give them an inspiration. Okay? So yes, you can say in conclusion or these are the best examples for the conclusion. Yun pa rin naman yung topic natin guys which is this one, advertisements put pressure on children. So these are the examples for a good conclusion. Okay? You can just take a picture. Okay, now let's move on to mistakes. Okay, so sa mga GT, pwede na ulit kayong makinig. Okay, pronoun use. Again, if you're not aware of the gender, you can use his slash her. Okay? Huwag tayo maging gender bias because it's something in the past already. Okay, letter I. It is commonly used for introduction and conclusions, particularly in stating stand or opinion. Okay, so yung hinihinging opinion sa writing tasks is from you. That's why it's normal to use the pronoun I. Okay? The pronoun we should be avoided in the body paragraphs. Them, they used to replace the common nouns, peoples, individuals. Okay, so common nouns such as people, individuals, students, you don't need to repeat them again and again in the content. You should sometimes try to use the pronouns them or they. Okay? And then it is replaced when you want to replace a singular subject. Okay? So of course, kung hindi yung tao, if it's not a person or a group of people, you just use it. Hindi ko lang sure if it, ako kasi personally, I use it when I pertain to animals. How about you guys? What do you use? Kasi minsan nakaka-offend yata sa mga pet owners na gamitin yung word na it. Kasi parang they tend to treat their pets as their own, right? I mean, family member. So sometimes they want to use his, her for their pets. Kayo ba guys? Do you use it or his, her? Or you don't have any pets? What do you mean depends?
Depends. Gender.
Okay, but you don't have a pet, right? You do. So how do you pertain to them? It. Mas gamit yung it, ano? Okay. But always remember that it is used for a singular subject. Pag mas madami, those or these. Okay? Okay. Another common mistake is the use of the word especially. Again, you don't put it in the beginning of a sentence. It's always supposed to be a continuous sentence, okay? E-learning is a very convenient way of studying for international pupils recently, especially since this provides quality education at a relatively less expensive cost. Okay? Pwede din namang hindi na siya kasama. But we use the word especially when we're trying to emphasize an additional idea. Okay? Kaya nga from the root word of the word especially is special. So if you want to put emphasis, you can use this word. But never use it in the beginning of a sentence. Okay? With all these advantages, the internet is indeed an indispensable tool to humanity. However, due to the dangers it possesses to people, especially the youth, many people are still wary of this. Okay. Kung makikita nyo, kailangan niya ng is this the conclusion part? So, pinagsama sila. So, as you can see, this notes one idea. So you shouldn't put a space after. Okay? Kasi hindi siya magkahiwalay na paragraph. It's supposed to be united. So you don't put space. Especially kasi yung word na however, it's a transition word. So when you're transitioning to another statement, but you're still in the same idea, you just put it in one paragraph. Okay? Sakit na talaga ng lalamunan ko. And I still have like 3 hours of class later. Okay, in my opinion, I support to maintain libraries for the benefit of all. Okay, so the rest of these are just more examples. I think I can give these to you. Like, you can self-study these, okay? Because babasahin nyo lang din naman to eh. Okay. So, it's already 11:34, and I think we can end the lecture and start with the coaching. Okay. So, we have Jomer, Dan Lloyd. Magpapa-coaching ka. And then, si Sophia. So, since 11:30 tayo mag-start, bibigyan na kita ng chance na coaching. Okay? I still have more time.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, bye!